Hey YouTube, this is Ben Gessel. How's it going? Quick video here for you. Well, not so quick, but informative. So it's been a while since I've made something like this. I thought I'd make something like this again, because we all want to be healthy, I would think, more or less, and we all want to save some money, more or less. And we also want to eat some tasty stuff. We want to make sure we're getting the right stuff in our systems. So I'm going to break all the stuff down, all this food stuff down by botanical family, and talk about some of these different nutrients and these different botanical families. You'll get the idea of where maybe you can tweak things a little bit in your shopping list, perhaps, as we go. Okay, so as you can see, the top number one addendum here, top priority veg is the brassicas, the Brassicaceae family. Now, there's, by the way, some of these guys, they're going to have more than one name. And these names are changing all the time. So if you guys know some of these botanical families by different names, so be it. I am familiar with others as well. I have to keep on my toes. Anyway, I do apologize in that regard, but here we go. Okay, so the Brassicaceae family covers a whole bunch of stuff that you'll see in your produce section in grocery stores. So, even kind of middle of the road grocery stores will have respectable organic and regular vegetables. And there's nothing wrong with that stuff. You might save a little bit of money. It's nice to be able to go to a premium store. They have really top quality produce, but it's not always vital. So, radicchio, red cabbage, horseradish, daikon radish, bok choy, which is like Napa cabbage, collard greens or collards, right? Broccoli, cauliflower, watercress, kale, Brussels sprouts, kohlrabi, cabbage, arugula, turnips, turnip greens, radishes, mustard greens, broccolini. These vegetables are really, 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 really important. Really important to get some of this stuff, at least some, every week. Ideally, more than once or twice. Like you want this stuff pretty often, especially the older we get, right? It has. I didn't have room because there's so many different kinds of vegetables, but these guys cover the gamut. If you get some of the stuff in your diet, you're going to have like chromium taken care of with broccoli for sure. Which chromium, a lot of these trace minerals, a lot of these smaller minerals, don't always show up in a lot of nutrition profiles for a lot of foods. But broccoli is a big time chromium. Well, I think oats and something like that, but broccoli is a main chromium source, so it should be. But you're going to get all kinds of nutrients from the brassicas, like across the board, vitamins, minerals, all kinds of stuff. Okay, going on to number 2, chinopods. Kind of getting some bad rep. Sorry about the noise outside. Because of oxalates. Oxalates, right there. And oxalates are not as big of a deal as many people might think. Along with phytic acid, it's just kind of overblown, but it's something. People are still talking about it. I know, but chinopods, the chinopod family, it's not especially tasty, but it's good to get some of the stuff here and there. I think that maybe it's probably wise to not overdo chinopods, but to each their own. It's the kidney stone thing, but spinach, Swiss chard, quinoa, red beets, and goosefoot, along with some other stuff. Absolutely. So, number 3 is kind of the side tier. Iridaceae, saffron. I just thought that's just a little tag on. There's really not much to say about that. If you want to splurge, great, but saffron's not really very important. But it's at least I'm covering the gamut here with all the different botanical families. So, Alliaceae, also known by a whole bunch of other names. Okay. Alioideae, Liliaceae. These are all kind of the same, purpley flower, oniony smelling, onion family, garlic, leek family. So onions, garlics, leeks, chives, green onion, Spring onion, scallions, chives, wild leeks, shallots. Also, asparagus. Asparagosaceae is related to this, as well as lily family, Liliaceae, whatever, and some other stuff. Yeah, yeah. So you get some flavor with this area. You can definitely get some flavor. You can get certainly, just a little bit of nutrients mentioned here: quercetin, vitamin B6 and C, folate, manganese, iron, fiber. Um, Whole bunch of other stuff with this guy has naturally including sulfurs. It's good to get the toxins out of the body kind of thing. And so the Brassicaceae family, Chinopods and Alliaceae, are the three different kinds of vegetable foods or botanical families that Dr. Greger is a vegan, but Dr. Greger recommends that we all get a lot of those, especially the Brassicas and the Alliaceae family. But they really prolong your lifespan if you can get all three of those in your system. And they're all cheap. All three of those are cheap. They're all cheap, and they all prolong your life. So that's number 4. Number 5, Asteraceae. This is basically your lettuces, salad greens, sunflower seeds, tarragon, artichoke, endive, Jerusalem artichoke, dandelion, which we don't really. Yeah, anyway, dandelion greens over chicory, globe artichoke, salsify, marigold. Sometimes you get some flowers in here, which are interesting. By the way, violets I think are edible, but I don't think I forgot to put violets in here, but I was trying to be very comprehensive, and you'll see why. We'll see that how comprehensive I'm trying to be, but I think technically speaking, you can eat a violet petal, but anyway, not many people do that. But same thing with roses. Roses are later on, but Rosaceae. Anyway, getting back to Asteraceae family. Of course, we have calcium, magnesium, potassium, iron, fiber, along with a ton of other stuff. Salad greens, very important. Probably, and these big boys, these first ones are so important, and they're all really cheap. Apiaceae family, just to complement Asteraceae. Also more salad greens, raw greens, right? Celery, carrots, dill, fennel, parsnips, caraway, chervil, parsley, cilantro, coriander, cumin, and getting all the spices and stuff. Anise, lovage, angelica. Right, this stuff has vitamin A, fiber, calcium, vitamin B6, potassium, magnesium. So all these top guys are so important to get all the time. Cucurbitaceae, next one. This is a marrow family, which is the veggies and melons. Cucumbers, zucchini, squash, pumpkins, pumpkin seeds, cassava, watermelon, muskmelon, by the way, cantaloupe, honeydew. It has potassium, calcium, magnesium, A, B6, C, and iron. Not quite as vital, but great to get in your system a little bit of that stuff here and there, sure. It's very healthy, of course, very water rich. Lamiaceae family. This is all the herbs, right? Mint, basil, thyme, spearmint, peppermint, rosemary, sage, lavender, savory, oregano, marjoram, lemon balm, hyssop, chia seeds. It's just to mention a few nutrients, A, C, and iron, but there's many others. It's just that with herbs, you're going to get probably not quite as much going on with all the, you still get lots of those, bioflavonoids and stuff, and really healthy oils and stuff, essential oils, but you know what I guess I'm talking about here. Very, 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 very healthy for you. Lauraceae, which is, not too many foods from this botanical family, but definitely the big ones are avocado and cinnamon, or Ceylon cinnamon. Right? Bay leaves and sassafras as well, but we don't really eat sassafras. Bay leaves we just having soups. Sassafras is a little bit questionable, but anyway, so a lot of the nutrients I'm mentioning here, by the way, are some of the primary foods I have more kind of have more black or dark. But you're going to see that some of these similar trends, in foods throughout these botanical families. Avocado has potassium, fiber, healthy fats, vitamin A, vitamin B6, vitamin C, magnesium, iron, and calcium. And cinnamon has some other really healthy, we call again, cinnamate, but it has some other stuff in it that's really, really awesome for you. Anyway, really awesome for you. Caricaceae, which is papayas, vitamin A, C, folate, potassium, and fiber. Just one little addendum, especially if you live in the tropics. It's a nice little Caricaceae. Number 10. Solanaceae, the nightshade family, very still kind of controversial. Let's zoom in here a little bit so you can see this a little better. Sorry. Okay, Solanaceae, number 11. Okay, so up to this point, we've been covering a lot of the veggies, avocado. We've been kind of in veggie land, which is a great place to start. And we're still kind of in veggie land, but the Americans, and sometimes Europeans, but especially Americans, will overdo this quite a bit. You know which vegetable I'm talking about, not just, well, yes, there is the potato, but also the tomato. But the nightshades are still some controversy because, people that have arthritis or, there's some stuff that's going on still that might cause arthritis if you have too much of this stuff. But anyway, so you see what it's the oxalate thing, it's the phytic acid, it's the anti-nutrient, it's the this is all the stuff that the carnivores like to kind of talk about, but the only is occurring somewhat. The question is how serious is it of a matter is it? And I think if you don't go overboard, you're probably okay. But the thing about the nightshades is that the toxins are not so much in the how do I say fruit, but it's not in the vegetables themselves, right? It's not in the food itself. It's in the leaves. It's in the other stuff part of it. So it's just a question of how much of that stuff gets into the actual part that we eat. That's the main thing. So nightshades: tomato, eggplant, bell pepper, potato, tomatillo, chili peppers, tree tomato, and something else I haven't ever heard of, but I've looked it up. Naranjila, whatever. Naranjila. Potassium, vitamin A, vitamin B6, vitamin C, magnesium, iron, calcium, lycopene. And again, it has some poisons in the nightshade. Well, I don't want to say poisons, it's kind of severe, but the thing about the nightshades, I think you can have some here and there, just kind of like the chenopods. Don't overdo it. Chenopods are probably slightly more important, but the big ones are like the salad vegetables, like Asteraceae and Apiaceae, as well as the brassicas and maybe the onions somewhat. And then the herbs and the avocado a little bit. You just try to get a mix of things. Is the best way of going about doing this whole thing. Capsaicin, or whatever, is the chili peppers is probably good for you, but not too many of us have a whole bunch of that stuff anyway. So, okay, Rosacea. It's pretty straightforward. The rose family, but it's just like apples. So apples, pears, quinces, strawberries, raspberries, crab apples, blackberries, cherries, and loquats. And plums, nectarines, and peaches, and apricots, black raspberries, cloudberries, dewberries, and almonds. One little thing there. So Rosacea is a huge plant family. There's also fruits I didn't mention, that are also part of this plant family as well. Rosacea is a huge name. It's like in the temperate regions of the world, this is our bread and butter fruit. This stuff is just hits the nail on the head so many times for so many of us. We're definitely eating Rosacea stuff. It's a rare person that doesn't have very much of this stuff. And of course, it has all kinds of nutrients like vitamin C and stuff, but quercetin, anthocyanins, potassium. Fairly important, the berries especially, but just again, don't forget your vegetables. It's still very important. Potassium, grapes for resveratrol, anthocyanins, fiber, B6C, and potassium. I love grapes, but Ananaceae, cherimoya, sugar apple, soursop, and custard apple, whatever. Potassium, fiber, B6C, magnesium. This is getting more tropics, so not too many of us have that stuff in the temperate regions of the world. Still pretty healthy for you. Rutaceae, oranges, right? This is the citrus guys. Oranges, mandarins, tangerines, limes, lemons, grapefruit, kumquat, citrons, and pomelo. Has tons, of course, vitamin C is what we all know it has. Lots of vitamin C, fiber, folate, calcium, B6A, potassium, magnesium. Also, grapefruit has lycopene, and then so you have some limonins and the lemons, limes, and stuff. Good for you. Just watch the sugar. Try not to drink the juice with oranges. But it's good for you. Ericaceae. Lots of flavor in that Ericaceae. Ericaceae. The heath family, right? Blueberries, cranberries, lingonberries, huckleberries, bilberries, bearberries. Fiber. It has fiber, B6. vitamin C, vitamin A, iron, magnesium, potassium, anthocyanins, bioflavonoids. It's anti-aging. Looking mainly at blueberries, but the Ericaceae family isn't quite as tasty, I know. It's got that tart thing going on a lot of times, but it's really healthy. It's really good stuff, and it's actually pretty tasty. It just takes some getting used to. I've never been when I was younger. I wasn't especially fond of this type of fruit, but it's not bad. I mean, just again, blueberries took some getting used to, I suppose. But Moraceae. This stuff, it's hard to find this stuff. At least where I don't know, mulberries, breadfruit, jackfruit, figs, besides oranges. The figs we get up here in Washington stink. You just go to Greece or something, I think. You have to go somewhere warmer. Copper, magnesium, vitamin A, potassium, fiber, vitamin C, iron, B2, copper, manganese, carbs, or healthy carbs, or antioxidants, vitamin B1, pantothenic acid, vitamin B3, vitamin E, vitamin K. Impressive. I'm looking at mulberries here mainly, but some other stuff too a little bit. But very healthy type of fruit, kind of family. Just again, kind of rare where I live. Actinidiaceae. I love kiwi fruit, but sometimes it's kind of an off and on thing for me. But it is very, very healthy. It has lots and lots of vitamin C, magnesium, potassium, calcium, iron, vitamin A. And so that's in bold. I think that many people in temperate regions would get some decent kiwi fruit. That's a great little variety fruit to go for. Very, very healthy for you. Some of the stuff, other stuff, I'm going to just kind of skim through because you just don't see it very often. The I'll start with number 19, Oxalidaceae and starfruit. We just don't see it very often. Clusiaceae, mangosteens. Asian markets, a lot of times you'll see them, but this is pretty tropical stuff, so we just don't see it very often in Washington. Definitely not the Rhamnaceae, jujube fruits, so the Chrysobalanaceae, the cocoa plums. No way, I've never seen any of those, but these are all very healthy for you if you can find them. And if you live in the tropics, maybe you know about these guys a bit more and you can correct my pronunciation. Bromeliaceae, of course, pineapple. Everybody knows pineapple. It definitely isn't so great for your mouth, but it has a lot of vitamin C. When I say a lot, I mean over 700% of your recommended daily allowance. So, yeah. Yeah. Vitamin A, calcium, iron, magnesium, vitamin B6, and potassium. Bromeliaceae. It's a vitamin C monster. Oh, wow. Go Philippines. So, Anacardiaceae. Number 24, I believe. Of course, this one we know mainly for the big three. The mangoes, the cashews, and pistachios, right? But it also, amchor is a Indian spice made from the skin of unripe mangoes. And has vitamin C. Well, this, the vitamin C is in the mangoes and stuff. But then, of course, all the minerals are in the cashews and pistachios, like magnesium, iron, copper, fiber, healthy fats, potassium, and B6. So I'm pretty fond of this plant family. I just watched my mango intake right now, but maybe in the future have some more. Who knows? And then borage. Boraginaceae has some gamma-linoleic acid. Little side note there. Probably, I mean, borage is like a green. It's a vegetable type thing. Sappindaceae. So this is getting into the tropics for the most part. Maple syrup, of course, being a main exception, being up in Canada, Vermont and Maine, that sort of thing. That's our temperate Sappindaceae, our maple syrup, but real maple syrup. But then, of course, you have ackee from Jamaica, lychee from China and thereabouts, Southeast Asia, longan, rambutan, and of course also the horse chestnut, which is a little different. But then it has vitamin C, calcium, phosphorus, potassium, zinc, and iron, many other nutrients. Sorry, very tasty, sweet types of foods. I'm pretty fond of this plant family myself. You just want to be very careful with the ackee. Don't eat the. Don't even. I've heard some bad things about that black. So you don't eat the middle part of that ackee, and you think you need to cook that stuff. I don't know. The Jamaicans know this stuff better than I do. But okay, so number 27, Echinacea, persimmons. Has vitamin C, iron, and potassium. Nice little side note. Persimmons aren't always super great up here in Washington State, but they're not too bad. It's just they taste kind of like mush. What can you do? Move to a warmer climate if you like that stuff more. So, Palmaceae, coconuts and dates, and other things like that. The palm family has potassium, magnesium, B6, iron, calcium, healthy carbs, healthy fats, a little bit. I'm, I don't hate this plant family. I just think that it's just kind of a different kind of deal. Dried dates, of course, can drive up your blood sugar if you're not careful. So you kind of maybe soak those bad boys. Or there's a lot of different properties that make this plant family fairly tasty, but kind of unique in its own right. So it's something I'm aware of, this plant family Palmaceae. I just don't really make it a huge priority. That's the best way of putting it. I think coconut oil, maybe one of the coconut milk, maybe, or some of you guys are fruitarian-ish, maybe not full-on fruitarians, are big into those soaked dates and stuff. But no, I hope you're not into coconut water. That just some people swear by it, but I hate that stuff. It's only good if you're in the tropics, man. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, Sapotaceae. These are tropical guys, so I'm gonna probably mispronounce the mamey fruit, whatever. Of course, you have star apple, sapodilla, canistil. I'm not even gonna say that next one. Anyway, of course, there's all kinds of stuff: calcium, magnesium, vitamin C, potassium, fiber. And then you have olives, Oleaceae. Of course, vitamin E, healthy fats and fiber, antioxidants. Salicaceae, Madagascar plum. Some nice stuff in there. Something that we don't have up in Washington, the natal plum, number 32. But it's good for you. Zingiberaceae. Zingiberaceae. There we go. Zingiberaceae. We're talking about the ginger family. So that's ginger, galangal, turmeric, and cardamom, it's mainly spices. Man, they have all kinds of stuff in it. Potassium, vitamin C, magnesium. Gingerol. And gingerol is an anti-inflammatory and antioxidant and helps with arthritis, nausea, and lowers your blood sugar over time. I mean, this is an amazing plant family. Again, we're talking about spices, so consider adding some ginger to your meals. We're going to get to if I don't include this all basically in part 1, I'll include this in part 2 regarding some decent shopping helpful tips and stuff, but maybe I might get that one. I might get to that in this video. So, Myristaceae, which is nutmeg and mace. Nice little thing to add on to your cookies, but I don't think cookies are the greatest thing for me right now, but if you're into cookies, add in some of that stuff. Incidentally, side note, Saudi Arabia, I think that they don't really allow that stuff, but consider nutmeg a drug, but yeah, we won't get that right now. Okay, Myristaceae. Okay, so Malphigidae. Basically, the Acerola cherry family, or the Barbados cherry. That one. A whole bunch of good stuff. Number 35 there. I've never had an Acerola cherry. I'm mispronouncing all these tropical fruits, I'm sure. But this one I won't mispronounce. Juglandaceae. Juglandaceae, right. Walnuts, pecans, hickory nuts, butternuts. I mean, all kinds of... I only had some, they have all kinds of healthy fats in them. Iron, B6, magnesium, potassium, many, many other nutrients. We're probably often more fond of the taste of cashews or pistachios or even peanuts compared to these guys, but they're not bad. It's just they taste kind of foresty, kind of nutty, foresty. Pecans have this interesting, almost slightly fruit type taste, but I'm more fond of walnuts between the two. We don't really get... I haven't really seen hickory nuts too much, or butternut. I think that's... oh boy, can't really find them too often. Number 36, very healthy for you. Number 37, stuff that we don't really have around here. This is like Polynesia. Araceae, taro root, basically. Poi. So it lowers your blood sugar, has vitamin C, B6, vitamin E, fiber, carbs, many other things too. Shout out to Polynesians. I wish we had more stuff like the taro root. It's not the tastiest stuff in the world, but it's stinking healthy for you. I've heard it's even better than potato in some respects. Anyway, Betularaceae, the hazelnuts, filberts area. I don't know. It's hard to get some of this stuff. And of course, it's oil of birch, wintergreens in the same family, but hazelnuts are a little pricey, but it's nothing like a good hazelnut. There's fiber, iron, B6, vitamin C, potassium, magnesium, and calcium, and many other nutrients as well, of course. A lot of minerals. Minerals with nuts especially, Cactaceae. I'm just hardly ever have any of this stuff, but I'm mentioning this still. Prickly pears, dragon fruits, mammalia. There's fiber, magnesium, carbs, iron, and vitamin C. So on this first page, before we get to the next page, really emphasizing the fact that we got to get some of these veggies in our diet. At least I'm talking more in the temperate regions of the world, but wherever you can get greens, get some greens. This is very, very important. This other stuff, still pretty important. It's good to get some blueberries. You can find them. Rosacea is healthy in its sphere of influence. Everything in its balance, but kiwi fruit and stuff, cashews and pistachios, olives. Some of that ginger. We want some of that ginger. So lots of healthy stuff on this first page. Second page is going to be a lot quicker, I promise. Okay. Well, here's to hoping. I'm going to have to make it part 2. Fabulosity. I'm just going to go through this really quick. Because the Fabulosity, we all know what these guys are. The beans. I'm not going to mention all the different types of beans, but there's a whole bunch of them. Including tamarind and fenugreek, which is a spice. Fenugreek, right? But these guys have a lot of molybdenum and a whole bunch of minerals, and a whole bunch of protein, a whole bunch of fiber, of course. They are the fiber foods. So Fabulosity is a good idea to get some of that stuff in your diet. Here and there. The question is how much. Probably a good idea not to totally skimp it, though. I don't eat a whole lot of that stuff. But Poaceae grains, kind of getting a really bad rap these days. Depends on what it is, but Poaceae, it is what it is. And many of us still swear by it. That stuff, whether it's rice or wheat or oats or whatever. But Lythraceae, pomegranates, has vitamin vitamin C. Vitamin C, fiber, potassium, many other nutrients, all kinds of other bioflavonoids. Great for older folks. Not exactly the easiest stuff to prepare. You have to dunk that stuff, and you have to cut it, dunk it in water, sift all the seeds out, sift the white part out. There's a way to do it, but anyway. Okay, most people here know about the Saxifragaceae, but they're also known as Grossularaceae. Yeah. Currants and gooseberries, very much a big deal in Europe, especially vitamin B6, vitamin C, potassium, iron, some other stuff, probably magnesium and calcium. A lot of nutrients in this bad boy. Not especially sweet, but it's a good dark berry. Mix it with some sweeter berries, and you'll be okay. Agave, forgettable. You don't need it. Anyway, Asparagaceae, I mentioned earlier, this is related to onions, the allium family, asparagus, and yucca root. Asparagus has vitamin A, C, K, folate, fiber, many other things like that. Very good for you. Very, very good for you. A little pricey sometimes. Rubiaceae, not so important to mention this, but this is the noni fruit. That stinky, nasty fruit we've heard about from Polynesia or Hawaii in very small quantities, but it's very, very healthy for you, of course. It's biotin, folate, potassium, calcium, vitamin E, vitamin C, tons of other stuff. Rubiaceae, not really a fan. I haven't, of course, I don't drink coffee either, so. But not totally forgettable. Orchidaceae, vanilla. Vanilla is nice nice here and there. Vanilla bean, of course, being very pricey compared to the other stuff that we might consume. That says vanilla, but not really vanilla. Myrtaceae, cloves, guava, allspice, feijoa, rose apple, patanga, or the Suriname cherry. Lots of vitamin C, vitamin B6, A, fiber, and magnesium. Good, especially if you live in the tropics. Probably those fruits are a little bit less accessible in our northerly climates. Piperaceae, black pepper, right? Has antioxidants and anti-inflammatory. It's number 49 here. Theoceae, tea. I'm going to kind of skip over this one. It's just a lot of people love this stuff, especially in East Asia and India and England. And being a Mormon, we're not really into tea. We do herbal tea, but, it has some good stuff in it. But anyway, more on, if you want to hear about tea, Theoceae, we'll talk about that later. Anyway, tea. Okay, so, sea vegetables. Nori seaweed, kelp, spirulina. I think the nori seaweed is the way to go. I think the other guys are a little bit overkill. But this is your iodine stuff. It has other stuff than iodine. I just mentioned iodine is a huge, huge deal with sea vegetables. We really do need some of that stuff. The Japanese have it right, man. They are the good examples there with sea vegetables. So, Passifloraceae, passion fruit and grenadilla, has vitamin C, vitamin A, magnesium, and iron. Musaceae is bananas and plantains, potassium, B6, vitamin C, and magnesium. Nice little thing here and there. I don't think it's as vital as some people think, but, And then, of course, we get into all these other pine nuts, has protein and healthy fats, coniferae, very expensive where I live, elderberries, a lot of this other stuff. You have water chestnuts, cyperaceae. If you guys really want me to go through this, rhubarb for polygonaceae and buckwheat, whatever. Star gooseberry. This gets into cocoa for malvaceae. It's a big one. Yep. Durian, hibiscus, marshmallow, okra. Of course, you have mushrooms, vitamin D, and sweet potatoes and yams, convolvulaceae, and something big starts with a D, yams. They're both really, really stinking healthy. I'm not really super into the sweet potatoes or yams, but they're good for you. Then we have a whole bunch of others, guys. If you guys are curious about what these other plant families are, I can tell you. But man, there's a whole bunch of them. Poppy seeds, capers, they're all different. These are healthy for you, but I just didn't bother getting into all the nutrients here. Macadamia nuts are going to be similar to, of course, pistachios and cashews. Somewhat healthy fats and stuff. Amaranth is part of the Portulaceae. There's a whole bunch of different types of arrowroot, by the way. Flax seeds are Linaceae. Magnesium, iron, calcium, potassium, healthy fats. And then Pedulaceae, sesame seeds. All right. Anyway, eventually we get to honey, fish, eggs, poultry, meat. You guys probably should know what nutrients are in these guys. I'm going to have to make a part 2 here in a sec. But, in fact, I'll make a part 2. You guys take care. Catch you later. Bye.